Stay savage, your boy Shino Metro was popping. Today we are back, and guess what? We are here for a Boruto review. This is going to be Boruto episode 67. Yes, it's been a minute since I reviewed Boruto, like, directly. I mean, I didn't really talk about last week's episode. I know everybody was like, yo, what are you doing? I didn't have a webcam, so I didn't really get a chance to review it. If you guys follow me on the channel as well as Twitter, you all know that I didn't have a webcam, so I wasn't actually able to, get out some content. But now I'm here today to talk about today's episode. Obviously, we got a bit of Cho-Cho going on. We got a lot about Cho-Cho. This one is more dedicated to her. A lot of people are kind of upset about this, but I thought this was quite enjoyable to see Cho-Cho actually pull up with the butterfly form, and not to mention she got slim thick with her cute ass. But if you guys are excited about today's episode, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for daily content. With that being said, finally, let's get into today's review. Let's get. Alright, so first off the back, I'm gonna honestly give you my personal thoughts and personal opinions about Cho-Cho as a character. So initially when Cho-Cho first was introduced, she thought way too highly of herself, but at the same time I understand why, because usually, when you have somebody that's usually of the plus size area, they usually have a lot of low self-esteem versus, she's very proud in her size, and she's very like formal about her size and letting everybody know she doesn't really care. Calories make her feel better and shit like that. So I also felt though this was kind of necessary for her character development, because we also seen something kind of similar happen with the boy Choji. If you guys remember, Choji initially started off as this big ass character, then he eventually got really slim, as time progressed, and by the time the Sasuke retrieval arc came, my boy Choji was out there helping the best of them. He was actually putting in work, and I feel like at some point or another we're gonna see Cho-Cho do the exact same thing, because if you guys remember, initially she had a big role in terms of Sarada's friendship. You know what I'm saying? She was really connected with her. You see Sarada talk to Cho-Cho more than you see her talk to any other female. You don't see her talk to the like random Sumire teammates, or you don't really see her talk to Sumire as much. It's more so her direct connection with Cho-Cho. She's more so like connected with her, and that's the person you seen her connect with the most in terms of their friendship and what they go through. So obviously this is going to be important for Sarada, because this is Sarada's like closest friend. This is almost like Sarada's Shikadai. Obviously Shikadai is very close to Boruto. You see these two actually get really close. If you guys look at the previous episode, obviously they had a heart-to-heart talking about what actually transpired during their tuning exams. Boruto apologized to him, Shikadai apologized to him, basically telling him about the burden that he took on. So like this is going to be something that actually builds up into the character development that adds on to Sarada, because Sarada and her are going to be the two friends that actually connect the most. So throughout this episode, I'm gonna honestly say it seemed kind of really trivial that she disrespected the shit out of Choji, and I was really upset about that. When Choji was actually trying to teach her about the butterfly technique and talking about like his powers and their family secrets and shit like that, she was watching a soap opera. Not to mention, it looked like she was on an iPad, and it goes to show how technology has developed. Even my boy Choji said that him and his wife actually made her too trendy, and that probably was their biggest downfall, that they made her too trendy in terms of like what's going on in the world, in terms of what's going on around them and shit like that. Because if you look at the way Cho-Cho is, she's always up to date on the new snacks. My girl's got an iPad, bro, an iPad in the ninja world. Like, bro, this is literally like the kids in this generation who don't know what a Game Boy is. I gave a little kid a Game Boy and the kid touched the screen. Nah, I'm kidding, I saw it as a meme. But literally this shit actually goes down in real life, and you see how like people have changed and kids are changing, and they're more so engulfed in their cell phones and their technology versus actually trying to learn the modern things. And that's something we see pulled up a lot in the Boruto universe, and I really like how they starting to express that a lot. Because if you look at the boy, Boruto, he got the scientific ninja tool. My man had some technology that was completely different from everybody else, and he was advanced, and that allowed him to take the shortcuts instead of learning techniques the original way. Not to mention, you see these guys playing video games among Shikadai, Inojin, as well as their other friends. You see these guys actually going ham. Not to mention Katasuki even has the video games himself. So like if you guys look at how things are modernizing in the shinobi world, this actually plays a very in-depth role on the old style and the old techniques of how people used to train and how they used to teach each other's kids, or how they used to basically give away family secrets. And it shows like she doesn't really respect that. I mean, obviously she knew how to do it. She wasn't really paying attention to my boy Choji. So I was like, yo, what's going on, man? You gotta put some respect on Choji's name, because Choji actually put himself in a position to make himself better and make everybody appreciate his presence. Because if you guys remember, this man had low confidence, this man had low self-esteem, and this is something we don't see from Cho-Cho. We see her with a high confidence level, and that's something that was expressed on in this episode. Obviously once she got around the person that she liked, Tamura, she basically started to get in her little emotions, and she started to get really shy, and we start to see her be really fickle. But it was like, yo, you're not usually like this, so why are you acting like this? It was even to the point where they was actually going to go after like the villain that was trying to attack, you know, basically the people that was making the death threats against Ashina and my boy Tomura, you know, she basically didn't want him to see her in her fat form. You know, she was self-conscious about her weight versus originally we seen Cho-Cho not really caring, not necessarily giving a shit about anybody who looked at her appearance. So this shit was kind of weird, because when you see a character, you know, base themselves around this ideal and then all of a sudden they get into a situation and they completely switch up, you're looking like, yo, what's going on? Because everybody knows she was very like confident about herself, and now we seen this self-conscious Cho-Cho, which is not the same. Now outside of all that, you know, obviously these are my personal thoughts and personal opinions, but one thing I really enjoyed to see was the fact that Boruto didn't even recognize who she was. My man Boruto deadass had a crush on Cho-Cho. He was like, how you doing? Who are you? You know, pleased to meet you. My name is Boruto Uzumaki. My mind got into the formal stance. I've never actually seen Boruto like try to push himself out there to actually talk to a girl. And the fact that she was Cho-Cho and then she was in her slim form, not to mention she does look decent in her slim form. I'm not gonna say she's beautiful and all this, because mind you, she is a little kid, but she does look a lot better in her slim form. She kind of resembles her mother a lot. You know, she has those traits, but she also has the goofiness of Choji. But it's like, yo, to see Boruto come out of his shell and just like, yo, my name is Boruto Uzumaki, nice to meet you. He was like blushed out, you know what I'm saying? Even when Sarada told him, he was like, no, there's no way this beautiful girl can be Cho-Cho. Like, what do you mean? Even Mitsuki was like joked out at it, and he thought that shit was hilarious. It was really dope to see like Boruto come out his original character and actually express some feelings to somebody he thought was attractive. Mind you, obviously Sarada didn't really express her feelings back towards him while he did that, because a lot of people know that Sarada has a crush on Boruto. It's like a small one, but you know, we seen her like retaliate to Sumire when Sumire said things about Boruto, but we didn't really see her respond to Cho-Cho. Obviously, I guess it was probably for a little bit of fan humor or some shit like that. You know, that's probably why she didn't get upset, not to mention Cho-Cho being one of her closest friends, and she knew that Cho-Cho would never actually like Boruto, because she kind of talks down a lot of people in her age bracket. She talks about how like they're not real men, or they're not a men worthy of her presence and shit like that. You know, she basically nitpicks and makes fun of them. You know, so it was one of those things where Sarada probably felt comfortable, but it was still odd to see Boruto like go out of his way just to be like, yo, hey, how you doing? What's good? My name is Boruto Uzumaki. I'm the Hokage's son. Can I shoot my shot? You know, it's 2018, trying to slide in the DMs. You know what I'm saying? I was like, Boruto, what you doing, bro? You can't tell this Cho-Cho, like, bro, step out of that shit. But overall, I thought it was really cool that they presented this idea early on. Not to mention, this was something that we saw from Choji like a lot later in the series. So now that they putting it like right away, it shows how like they're trying to push the idea behind developmental characters outside of just Boruto. And we've seen that happen time and time again in the anime. You know, obviously mangas are a little bit different, but we've seen backstory about Shikadai a little bit. We've seen Inojin's story a little bit. We've seen something about Denki. We've seen a little bit about Iwabi. You know, they even gave some insight on Metal Lee. They didn't go into too much detail about Metal Lee, but they gave enough insight. You know what I'm saying? So we still getting these core factors being put into these characters that's actually giving us character development really early on versus later in the series when things are really going critical. Now I know a lot of people are upset due to the fact that this anime just came off one of the best arcs that it's ever had. Literally the new and improved Momoshiki fight, all that shit was amazing. And a lot of people are upset because it's like, how do you go from like one of the hypest anime like arcs in fucking this year and then turn into this? But it's all still core aspects that need to be touched upon, because we need to get these developmental factors out of the way. That way we can see these characters excel and go into a different perspective, because now you might have a different outlook on the girl Cho-Cho. You know, you might initially thought she was annoying, but now that you see that she's a little bit self-conscious about her weight, it's letting you guys know that she still has humanism. It also shows that she's a little bit a different person on the inside, just a little bit, you know, obviously outside of her normal little quirky self that's always gassing herself up, always talking about how, you know, slim thick she is, or how thick she is, or talking about her weight, or how much she, you know, doesn't really care what other people think and how calories are her life. You know what I'm saying? That stuff cures stress, and she doesn't care about calories or her weight. You know what I'm saying? And now she's actually becoming one of those people that's subconscious about her weight, or actually making it very verbal to everybody else that she has a problem with it. So I thought that was really dope. It actually gives us real insight to her character. You know, it shows that sometimes people put on facades to actually, you know, try to gas themselves up, because you might be looking one way. I might be smiling every day, and then one day I might be completely, you know, upset, but it's like on the outside I'm still smiling, but like in the inside I'm really dying. You know, nobody really knows unless these things get put into the light, you know. And that's something what's going on with Cho-Cho. A lot of her aspects and a lot of her issues are being brought into the light, versus like normally we don't never get to see those things, you know, because Cho-Cho is a very confident person. This is something we also seen seen touched upon with the boy Boruto. Boruto always expressed that he could handle things on his own, that he didn't really need anybody helping, that he was going to be a strong ninja, but then he used the scientific ninja tool because he had self-doubt, he didn't have confidence, and he relied on it. But now you saw his development change into this person who wants to find his own path and walk down his own road. You know, you've seen his confidence get boosted when he fought against Momoshiki, and Sasuke gave him the okay, as well as Naruto told him he could do it and that they believed in him. You know, it was one of those things that we have to see in the series, and I'm really glad that they're doing this for Cho-Cho because she is definitely a character that will deserve it, and I think this will basically make her character a little bit more enjoyable because at the beginning a lot of people thought she was a lot of snobbish, and a lot of people were just really pissed off with her character as a whole because it's like when we see her introduced, the first thing she does is talk shit to everybody. You know, she's really shit talking all the people that we enjoy, or all the characters that we start to like and shit like that. You know, obviously she's giving her own opinions and different things, you know what I'm saying? She's always being like, you know, obnoxious and shit like that, but like, you know, you see her come in and actually like, you know, change the way she is. So let me know your personal thoughts and personal opinions on episode 67. This has been my personal thoughts and personal opinions. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for daily content. With that being said, my name